All right, guys, so welcome back to the channel. And this is another Vivitar product from Five Below. I know, I've done quite a few of them. Some have been good in the past, some have been absolutely terrible, but I'm hoping that this guy is pretty decent. So apparently it has a touch activated LED light, silicone speaker. I'm guessing that you could change the light to these multiple colors right here. Doesn't say anything about battery life or anything, which is really telling about a product when they don't even give you the product specifications on a box. But it is what it is. And just in case you're wondering, no, I did not open it and try it myself yet. That is how it was at Five Below. So I guess someone tried to do a 5-finger discount. Either way, let's get into this review and talk about this particular product and if it's worth the asking price. So this is going to be everything that comes with it. You have the actual Bluetooth itself, which is soft silicone right here. You have the USB-C. Just in case you're wondering, the power button is on the bottom right here. So you hold that for a couple seconds to power it on. You do have the USB-C on the back of it also. Now we have the instructions over here. So let's kind of talk about a couple specifications. So it says right here, the play time is approximately 2 hours and the charge time is 2 hours. So it only has a 2-hour battery life. It does have Bluetooth 5.3 up to 33 feet. Let's just go through this part right here. It shows you how to use the cable, how to connect it to like a computer, things like that. This is pretty simplistic and also shows you how to pair it. So what I want to do for you guys is just leave this piece up here right now. So you can go ahead and screenshot that. Now, what I want to go ahead and do is just do this right here. Go ahead and pause the video to screenshot the parts that you need. I'm just going to slowly guide it like so you can get the entirety of this paper. Okay, so anything on the back? Nothing on the back. Anyway, in order to power it on, you just hold the button like we talked about. It's a little loud. Okay, so the light comes on automatically. So according to the instructions, if you just kind of give it a pat, let me pick it up and do that. It changes the lights. Now, what I notice is that if you tap its back, tap the back of his head, the sides, the lights actually change. So I'm not sure where the mechanism is in the speaker itself in order to make it do that. But if you give it a little pat, you can definitely change up. And there's different sequences and lights and blinking and things like that. So just kind of check it out for yourself. But anywho, I mean, it seems pretty solid so far. What I will say is that I was kind of surprised about the soft silicone. I didn't think it was going to be this squishy. So if you place this inside of a backpack or something, make sure that this is on top because you don't want to completely crush this and possibly damage something in the inside. And I'm sure the electronic mechanisms is on the base and whatever is inside the base right here. And that's pretty much it because everything else feels pretty hollow for the most part. Now, if we go based on the instructions, syncing it is as simple as holding the power button. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead to Bluetooth and this device right here. And it should already be in pairing mode because I haven't paired it to anything yet. Go ahead and pair it now. See what pops up. It says wireless speaker. Now, my guess is that this is probably it, the wireless speaker. It's the only thing that's around me in terms of Bluetooth. See what happens when I pair it. Yep, so it is paired. So when you search up Bluetooth, it's going to say wireless speaker. I was hoping that it would say something like Vivitar wireless speaker to make it a little bit easier, but you know, it is what it is. So, but just follow the simple instructions. You shouldn't have any issue pairing this device. So the more important test is the sound quality. How good is it? Is it worth the asking price? That's what we're here for. So far, we got a 2-hour battery life, which is anything out of the ordinary. It takes 2 hours to charge it. And it does have the touch feature where when you tap it, it actually lights up. Now, I'm not going to light it up for this part of the video, primarily because some people might have like some issue with epilepsy or flashing lights. So I don't want to cause a seizure or anything like that. So, but the speaker is currently connected. Here we go. Here's Warzone. Now, normally I would tell you guys that this sounds okay, but we'll wait for the beat to drop. Now watch this, I'm turning it up. Hear that distortion? Sounds awful. The bass, it can't handle, when certain songs are created, for example, FL Studio, I use it occasionally. There's 808 beats and drums and so many different things. You can combine different drums. This can't handle playing that at higher octaves. To be honest, the maximum volume for this is actually really, really low for a speaker, if we're being honest. And I don't know if you remember this, but I did this product, which I believe was also Vivitar, if I'm correct. And the sound was just not that good, to be honest with you. And this really isn't that good. This is at 100%, by the way. So what you're hearing is at 100%. Now I'm going to turn it back down to about 80 or 70%. And it does sound a whole lot better when you do that. It doesn't feel like the speakers are struggling anymore, but the quality of sound isn't there regardless. To be honest with you, I guess I would give this a 3 out of 10, 5 being average. And again, 5 is a good score for a headset, especially average. It means there's nothing wrong with it. And you'd be like, okay, I like it. In quality of sound, not necessarily longevity. But this sounds terrible. I gotta be honest with you. This speaker does not sound good at all. I'm gonna play a little bit more for you. See, it sounds better at a lower octave, as you can see. Now let's turn it back up. Yeah, struggling. All right, let's do this one. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it like 80% or so, 80, 90%, probably 80%. That's a safe bet. Anything higher than that, the speaker starts breaking up. This isn't very good, to be honest with you. And I'll explain why in the next section. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you bought this speaker because you thought it was cutesy and you wanted it to light up, which it does light up, let me do that. I'll just leave it on the red. Now, it does have flashing lights. It have multi-lights at the same time and different things, so I'll just light it up for you guys. I'm sure a kid would like the speaker because of the aesthetic. They'll be happy. It's squishy. You know, it's just something cheap. The problem with it is that when it comes to the quality of sound, I just got to be honest. As I was listening to it at the higher octave, it was actually giving me a headache because it just sounds so crappy. Like, it's one thing, if you are listening to it through the video, you may be thinking it's not that bad. But me listening to it in person while doing this in real time, recording, it sounds awful. Like, this is not a good speaker. It's really, really bad. And for the asking price, the reason why I have to give it such a low rating, very simple, is because I do other Five Below products. Even if you go back to my old videos where I wasn't very good at this, a lot of those products are still better than this, and it's all Five Below stuff. So again, if you see this in a store, they have a mushroom, they have a French fry. You see it right here, the little cat, mushroom, French fry. I mean, it's cute, yeah, sure, but the quality just isn't there. And to be honest with you, hold on one second, guys. There we go. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't want to give this to my child, primarily because I feel like it's going to hurt his eardrums. It's hurting my eardrums, and I'm an adult. It just doesn't sound good. And in fact, let me just go into the last part, the closing statements. So the question is, is this speaker any good? So let's kind of go over a couple things. You can tap it, right? And it just changes colors, blinks, different things like that. Let me get past this part real fast, just in case someone has like a form of epilepsy, because I don't know if that's going to cause some flashes. So let me turn it off. So it's not a bad speaker in terms of aesthetic and how it looks. I think the light effect is going to be cool for a lot of children. They're going to like that. If you're a collector, anime collector, anything, you just want something in the background to sit along with other little figurines and stuff, yeah, it's perfectly fine if you're using it for that way. But if you're buying this for quality of music, absolutely not. It's terrible. And again, I believe this is a Vivitar product over here too, right? And when I did this review, a couple people told me, oh, it's supposed to be on certain surfaces, but I stuck it on stuff and it still sucked. Sometimes a product just isn't good. And this is one of those products. Now, if you go to Five Below and you buy other Bluetooth speakers and other things, a lot of the things I reviewed, I think sound a lot better than this by far. And they're all the same asking price. So I think this was $7 or $8 or so, I forget. I don't think it's worth it personally. Overall, I think if you give this to a child, they'll like the toy itself. But once they start using it for Bluetooth purposes, one, it only lasts for 2 hours. So it's not going to get much usage out of it to begin with. And secondly, the sound just sounds terrible. You can go there and buy almost any other speaker and get substantially better quality for the same price, if not less. And this sucks. I just got to be honest. Come on, Vivitar. I don't know much about you guys, but if you're going to make trash products, I don't. Any further speech is going to be me trashing this product, and I'm trying to stay semi-professional. I do not suggest this for music listening. I just don't. I can't. Cell phone speakers sound better than this, if we're being honest. And if you don't believe me, for anyone that doesn't believe me, I'm going to show you something. Watch this. That's the loudest, right? Distorted, right? Super distorted. Watch this. Now, this is a lower end phone. I don't expect this to have great sound because it's one of the free phones. If you have a basic Metro by T-Mobile cell phone, you're probably going to get better quality music. Watch this. Now, granted, hold on. I will admit that this sounds better than this phone, but this phone is back in the day. Like this is just a repurposed phone from like 8 years ago, Android wise. And even though this speaker is terrible, why is it comparably as terrible as this? Reason being because they're both underperforming products, and they're selling you a underperforming product. I just can't see I would never give this to anybody. If anything, I would throw this in the trash before I do anything, because I don't want to disrespect my family or friends or anyone else by giving them this when I know that the performance is just really, really under par. But I'll just leave it at that. I bashed it enough. Like and subscribe like always, guys, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.